Since the dawn of man, we have been on edge. The accepted theory is, of course, a defensive mechanism. A defensive mechanism from our early hunter-gatherer days, when we had to be on our guard at all times from vicious Ice Age predators. Some eccentric people blame gods for this response. Eldritch gods of old, Nyarlathotep, Nurgle, Zalgo, Baphomet, and of course, the most sinister of all these deities, Angela, Anaconda. The shrill psychopathic siren of a deity is in constant immortal duel with an almost equally devilish counteragent, Nanette Memoir, who is head of her two lesser demons, January Cole and Carleen Trainer. Angela has two lesser demons of her own, the gluttonous blob creature Gina Lash and Johnny Abadi. Now I present the top 3 unsettling occurrences caused by the entity known as Angela Anaconda. Number 1. Angela Anaconda causes a divorce. Angela Anaconda digivolve to Angelamon. This short caused my parents' divorce. Okay, you have my attention. How? Didn't know at the time that my parents' relationship was rocky. I begged to go see Digimon movie. Parents agree, but I don't realize it's for them to spend time together as well. Get to theater, excited about Digimon flick. Can even afford popcorn and drinks. Parents look happy. Angela Anaconda short comes on. Parents also don't speak very good English. My little boy mind can't comprehend all the fuck going on. Parents are utterly confused by this Canadian fuck running around in a Digimon suit. I start crying and they pull me out of the theater. Mom and Dad start blaming each other for going to the wrong film. Dad throws away the popcorn Mom wanted. Lots of arguing and I'm still crying. Get out to parking lot and drive off in a rush. Get into an accident in parking lot. Dad moves out a month later. Fucking bitch of a whore Angela Anaconda ruined my life. Number 2. Angela Anaconda lost episode. When I was 14, I was friends with a guy named George. He owned a local comic book store, and since I was a big comic nerd, I spent most of my afternoons there. George used to work at Fox Family Channel, but ended up being fired when it was bought by Disney. That was when he bought the comic store. However, before he was fired, he managed to make friends with a lot of people in the industry, including the creators of a TV show called Angela Anaconda. I had seen a few episodes, but I was not a big fan. Well, one day, George received a CD through the mail. I was there when he opened the parcel. It was a simple computer soft plastic CD case, like the one you get with a demo from a magazine. He popped the CD into the store computer and opened it. I hope it isn't porn, he laughed, looking over at me. I couldn't help but smile at that. The usual intro for the show started. He glanced at me, shrugged, and proceeded to check the wrappings in which the case came in. It's blank, he told me. It didn't come in the mail, it was just dropped in by someone. After he said that, the theme ended and the episode began. It showed Johnny alone in what seemed to be his own room. He seemed to be crying, but there was no sound. George checked the computer and everything was functional. The video was just silent. Then Johnny walked out of the room and towards the living room. 2 people were there. One of them had Johnny's uncle's face and Johnny's hair, and the other was a woman. I remembered that his parents did not appear in the regular episodes, so I assumed these people were them. Johnny's father started yelling at him. However, Johnny did seem to get angry at his father. Instead, he appeared to look desperate. Johnny's mother smacked him out of this and yelled at him. His father pointed to his room, but Johnny did not move. He simply glared at his parents and went into what seemed to be the kitchen. He took a knife out of the drawer. I remember hearing George swear under his breath as Johnny walked back into the living room. He viciously stabbed his parents As soon as he stopped stabbing them, a woman with exactly the same face as the mom walked in. She seemed to be stuttering and shaking as she saw the bodies. Without showing any emotion, Johnny put the knife in her hand and forced her to push the knife through her own throat. The woman collapsed to the ground, dead. Johnny stumbled over to the corner of the room and cried. The episode switched scenes. A newspaper was shown with the headline describing a double murder-suicide. The newspaper was pulled down to show Johnny with his grandmother and uncle, who were both crying. Suddenly, the screen went black. The phrase 6 months later appeared in white letters. The episode resumed to show Johnny playing softball with his friends Angela, Gina, and Gordy. Johnny hit the ball and it flew off. It went so far that it broke the window of an old closed-off house. The other kids began yelling at Johnny. Once again, he seemed to look desperate. Angela pointed to the street as if to tell him to leave. Glaring, he did not move. The episode cut off at this point. There were no credits. George sent me home, telling me he decided to close the shop early to ask around. Later that week, after he talked to his friends who created the show, he explained the episode to me. The crew had made this episode as a sick joke. An intern that did not know about this and ended up taking it home to show his younger cousin. The child was traumatized and had to spend years in therapy. In a way, it was nice to understand why the episode was the way it was, but something else had plagued our minds from that day. He never found out who dropped it into his mailbox. Number 3. Angela's Asylum.
Okay, so F. And of course we are instantly faced with the demoness herself, Angela Anaconda, and her lesser demon, Gina Lash, I forgot her name, and some random kid. And one of the most disturbing demons of all, Arthur, whatever his last name is. Okay, let's see, where do we go?
The door is closed.
Okay. Okay, that's enough of that. What's this? Bad bitch, itty bitty, big titties, and fat ass. Gotta get that ooh mama. Some sort of staircase to the abyss below. A room as empty as Angela Anaconda's heart. I'm not gonna be able to edit out all these mistakes I make. Anyways, let's pull this lever. So, ow. Okay, I'm actually terrified. Okay, I need to get out of here. No. Oh. Okay. Get up. This is actually terrifying me. Oh shit. No. Get up the staircase. Okay. Are they coming? Oh my god. No. We must get into this building. Oh no. Get in. Oh Jesus. Oh wait. Oh no. There she is. No. Okay, I'm done.
Revolutionary new way to suck and blow at the same time.